Well, hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of To a Woman's Heart, where we uplift, motivate, encourage, and empower women. I am so happy that you are here. And make sure you follow us on all our social media outlets. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, TikTok. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out the social media outlet for women, toawomansheart.org. And check out the website, toawomansheart.com. And slide on over to where the t-shirts are that speaks to the heart of a woman, toawomansheart.store. All right. So here we go. Tonight's topic is taking your power back. All right. So as you all know, we always start off with a definition. That is the norm. That's what we do. So the definition of power is the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality. The power of speech. Similar words is ability, capacity, and capability. It is a noun. The second definition is the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. Example, she had me under her power. Now, in a verb form, power means supply a device with mechanical or electrical energy, or move or travel with great speed or force. All right. So, as we know, as we tunnel or journey through life and we go through various courses of our life, be it work environment, be a family environment, be a co-workers environment, be a friends or whatever it may be, at some point in time, we allow others to take our power. And in work environment, we become so intimidated in some areas of our life. It is easy for people to slide in and squeeze in the cracks and crevices of who we are and try and change the narrative of who we are as an individual. So in work environments, you work and you start this job and you go in there and you're all confident and your self-esteem is up and you're assured of your qualities and your skill set while you're going to this job and you're doing what you're doing. And after you've been there for a while, and after a couple of mishaps, a couple of promotional denials, or a couple of lack of raises, and you feel like you're no longer qualified or people don't recognize your skill set, in a sense, they're kind of nipping at your power. So you feel like in certain aspects, you're powerless. And so when you know that you have done the best that you can do in that work environment, you know that you are that qualified candidate who should have that position, and then they allow somebody else to step in and take that position from you. It has a little sting, it has a little effect on us as individuals. And so in that capacity, we feel like we are powerless. Or say something happens at work and they're asking your opinion of what transpired in a certain scenario at work, and you're telling the truth, but the other person is lying to make themselves look good. So now you feel like what you're saying, your voice has no power. They're not listening to what you're saying. They prefer to believe a lie before they believe the truth. So in a sense, it feels like your power is being taken from you. Or say you have a position of being a leader, a manager, a supervisor over a department, but they given you the title, but you don't have the power that goes along with the title. So you're just in that position as name only. So now you feel like This position just only holds a name. So what power do I really have in this position? It's just name only. I can't make no decisions. I can't hire nobody. I can't interview nobody. I can't review nobody. I can't give nobody no raise. So in a sense, when you look at it like that, you're looking at that you have the title, whether it's manager, supervisor, or whatever it may be, but you don't have the power that goes along with that position that allows you to make decisions of what can and cannot happen. In friendships, some of us feel like our power has been taken in friendship. It used to be a time in some friendships, if you said something to one of your friends, they kind of would listen to what you said, or what your thoughts were on certain things. And they kind of took your word for face value, and they kind of adjusted accordingly. But as things change, as we change, as life changes, as things evolve, then we feel like our influence no longer have that effect like it used to. When you used to say something to your friend and they be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Now some of your friends are getting to a point, well, I don't think so, and you don't know what you're talking about. So your influence, the impact of your words, what you see and what you think no longer has any value. So in a sense, you feel like that's taking a little bit of your power, is diminishing your power in the relationship between you and the other person as friends. With children and parents, as parents raise kids and they start to get older, when they was living up under your roof and they had to follow your rules and your regulations because you was paying the bills and you was feeding them and clothing them and doing all the things. After a while, a little bit as time goes on, you lose a little bit of your power. Now, it doesn't have nothing to do with your authority, but you do lose a little bit of your power, especially if your kids go off to college and they move off into their own environment. You no longer have the power to control what they do and what they don't do. You no longer have the power to control when they can come in and when they can go out, because right now they're out there paying their own bills, they're paying their own utilities. So a little bit of your power has diminished. Not saying that you don't have no say so, but the strong power that you had, the strong influence that you had, kind of diminished a little bit, especially when your kids become adults and they move away from home. Now, the biggest thing in us as women in losing our power is in relationships. We lose our position, we lose our place, we lose our voice, we lose who we are as an individual, as a woman in a relationship. And some may say, as we're talking, oh, she got her nose over in my corner. Oh, she all in my business. No, this is just general information. We all know this. But some of us seem to put it on the back burner. We don't want to address some things when it happens every day. We see it on TV. We see it on reality shows. We see when we're out in public and we have people that we hang around, people that we talk to in conversations on the phone, that we find out, and even to some married people, because me and Denise had a conversation a while back about happy wife, happy life. And in that conversation of talk about happy wife, happy life, she said in there at some point in time in her relationship, she lost who she was and she lost herself into her husband. And then as we are in the present time, the same questions are still valid today. How many of us have lost who we are as individuals? We lost our voice. We lost who we are as individuals into somebody else. And we don't realize, we haven't recognized or even realized that we lost ourselves in somebody else. How many times have we realized, did we ever realize, or do we realize that we lost our voice in a relationship? And as I say all the time, I can talk about me. Can't talk about nobody else, but I can talk about me. And when you talk about taking your power, so some years ago when I was going to get married, this is an example of how a man would try to take your power. If you're not strong enough to stand on your own 2 feet and stand up for yourself, and it's like, I'm not dealing with that one. That's not going to happen. So when I was engaged to be married, it was one day, we was coming home. He had picked me up from work, and as we was getting ready to approach the house, he told me, point blank, straightforward, when you get in the house, this is what I want you to do. And I'm kind of looking at him kind of sad when he said, when you get in the house, I want you to lay out all your bills, because I need to know what all your bills are. And I need to put my name on this house. Now, mind you, at the time, it was my parents' house who they had passed, and it went to the girls. So first of all, if it's something that's being passed down to somebody, you have no right, no authority, no position, or no place to ask anyone to put their name on something that don't belong to you. So what I in turn said, if you want your name on something, understand, if you want your name on something, then you need to buy a new house for me and you, and we both get a new set of keys. But you're not going to take over this one. And if in that situation that I will have given up my power, I will have given up my voice, who I was, I will let him influence me to do something that I know was not right to do in that specific time, then I would have went in the house, got the paperwork, had paperwork written up, and put his name on something that did not belong to him. Period. And it was said, and let's be honest, ladies. When we get to a certain point in life, we all want a relationship. We all want to be loved. We all want to be, some of us, most of us want to be married, even though some of us say we don't want to. A lot of us do. We may be in denial at some time, but you want that companionship. You want that relationship, right? And so you want these things, but at what price? At what price are you willing to sell yourself for the sake of saying that I have somebody in my life? It is not that serious, not whatsoever. And what we need to understand as women, before we give up our power, we are individuals. We are individuals. We have expectations. We have desires. We have wants. We have needs. We have visions of things we see ourselves being, goals that we want to accomplish. But then we let somebody slide right in and divert all that. They divert it. And really, when you sit down and think about who is winning when that happens, are you on the winning end or are you on the losing end? And I come to find that when we are so easily to give up, to give in to some things, it's a little bit deeper. Maybe it has something to do with self-esteem. Maybe it has something to do with the lack of confidence. Maybe we feel, if I don't let this individual in, I won't get this opportunity again to be in a relationship. But then you have to ask your question before you give up your power, your place, and your position. How much are you losing? How much are you losing? And then let's think about like this. Let's really think about like this. Say you got $100,000 in your bank account. You got $100,000 in your bank account. And this individual, whether it's friend, family, you're dating your husband, whatever, you have $100,000 in your bank account, right? This person come to you empty-handed. They're not bringing nothing to the table. They don't have nothing to offer. They haven't showed you no difference. So are you willing to give them free access to your $100,000 to use your money as they freely choose to use your money? Do you see? Do you feel like that would be something that you would be willing to do, to allow somebody to just go on your account and use your money, and you just study seeing this money just study going out the door, and nothing's coming back in, nothing's coming back in, it's just study going out the door, it's study going out the door. Well, the same thing with any relationship, the same thing with your power, your position, and your place. It's the same thing. You have a bank account that's been filled up with funds, the funds of who you are, the funds of your confidence, the funds of your self-esteem, the funds of standing on your own 2 feet, the funds of you being an individual. That is your money. You being a whole healthy individual is your funds. So look at yourself as the $100,000 that's in the bank. You can look at yourself as $1,000,000 in the bank. So are you willing to give up every aspect of who you are to let somebody deplete you without replenishing anything back? And that's the question you have to ask yourself, because when you really look at it, now it becomes family, friends, dating, husband, co-workers, work environment. It becomes a one-sided relationship. It's not a two-sided relationship. Now somebody is constantly taking from you, and they're not giving you anything back in return. So pretty much you got to look at yourself as the power station, because you have everything that they don't have. So look at yourself as a power station. Like Commonwealth Edison have the power station, they have all of the squirrely things, and it's all fenced in to protect the power, so nobody can go in it and steal the power. So it's secured, it's locked up, and it's surrounded by a fence. So just not no anybody can walk in and kind of tap into the power. And so if ComEd philosophy knows to protect their power, lock it up, secure it so nobody can go in and tap in, why don't we protect our power, lock it up, secure it so can't nobody go in and tap in? Why can't we do that for ourselves? Why can't we do that for ourselves? We as women give up too much of ourselves and get so little in return. We get so little in return. And before we know it, we're drained. We have nothing left to give. We've been washed out. So we allowed somebody to plug into our power source. We allowed somebody to keep plugging into our power source, so much so that they have drained our battery. And just like with a car, when you use that battery so much and that battery get drained, eventually it's not going to turn over and it's not going to start. You can only jump that battery so many times. You can only jump yourself so many times before you need to replace some things. And after that battery dies and you done jumped it so much, it no longer will work. You have to go out and buy your whole new battery. So I'm saying you are the power source. You are the power source. Can you see yourself as being that power source? And in being that power source and knowing all the qualities that you possess within yourself, knowing all your goodness that you possess within yourself, why would you allow somebody to come in and drain you from every ounce of power that you have? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you feel that that's okay? And I always said, I would, even when, like I said, when I was going to get married, I refused to be married to anybody that I hated to come home to, right? In my relationship, I'm going to do my part as that woman, but there are certain boundaries I'm not going to cross. And then we have to, at some point in time, meet in the middle, because relationship is between two people, not one. It's not a one side, one way street. It's two people that's in this together. So if I'm putting all the work in, if I'm invested in the relationship, if I'm giving 100 plus, I'm doing everything, and you're not giving me nothing back in return, you're draining my battery. You're draining my battery. And before I let you drain it dry where I have to replace it, then somebody has to go. And it definitely ain't going to be me. But in that instance, and where we're standing, where we're sitting, where we're walking, where we're laying in, you as a woman have to know your value. You as a woman have to know your worth. You as a woman have to know the power in which you possess. You have to know that. And again, nobody can do anything to you unless you allow them to. Now, when I was engaged, if I allowed him to say and do the things that he did to me, then it would be okay. Then that's on me if I accepted that. But I refuse to, because I'm just as much an adult, a human being as you are. And don't do to somebody else that you would not want to be done to you. Bottom line. Again, when you're going into something, family members, friends, husbands, boyfriends, whatever it is, you have to know what you're looking for. You have to know what you expect out of a relationship. You have to know your worth. You have to know that you still need some time for you. As I'm going to say this, and I'm sure it's probably not going to rest too well with a lot of people, because society shows on TV, the sexual aspect is the most important thing. It's the most important thing. And again, once you give it up, they say that it's hard to refrain from doing it again. But give it up with conditions. Don't give it up just to be like a revolving door. You find what I'm saying? Some of us women, we don't make nobody work for anything. And we think that the sexual aspect will save relationships. We think the sexual aspect will help a relationship. We think the sexual aspect will solve a problem. That is a temporary fix. That is a temporary satisfaction. After, take the sex off the table. Take it off the table, put it over to the side. Now what do you have left? It's a question you should ask yourself. It's a question you should ask, because you are the driver of who you are as an individual. You are. And nobody can do anything to you unless you give them permission or unless you allow them to do it. And a lot of us women, I've talked to plenty women, and they was like, oh, I can't believe he did this. I can't believe he said that. Yeah, he did it. He said it because you allowed it. You didn't have no pushback. So they test like kids do. If they test you one time and you let it slide, guess what? They're going to try to sneak in the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth. And the more times you let it slide, the more times you ignore it, is the more time they are going to keep being a repeat offender. But again, you as the woman, know who you are. Know the grounds that you stand on, and let nobody shake that. You need some standards. You need some morals, and you need some value. And if you keep up with those things and not settle, and I know some of these women, the issues is they got daddy issues, or they've been in relationships and they didn't work out so well, and depending on what somebody said, that's snatching your power, that's snatching your voice, they're taking your power. When they put you in a position where they demean you so much, and you actually start to believe that you are less than who you are, they have taken your power of your voice, because now you at a place you no longer feel that you can speak up for yourself. Somebody has taken your power of your voice. They have silenced you. And I'm going to say this again. When you go to ComEd, they got all the electrical things in there. It is fenced, it is secured, and there is a lock on it. Can't nobody walk in those gates and just plug into their power source and just use it. So I'm saying to us, stop allowing people to plug into our power source and use it. We give up too much of ourselves for the sake of having a friend, for the sake of and even some family members, keeping them in your circle, and for the sake of keeping a man, for the sake of keeping a husband, when you should cut the cord for yourself. If you don't expect none, if you don't place no boundaries, if you don't place no requirements, if you don't have no expectations, what do you expect? People only will do what you allow them to do. Don't give up the power of your voice. Don't give up your heart. Don't give up your every ounce of your being just to appease somebody else and nobody is appeasing you. That doesn't make sense to me. There are a lot of women out here, they've been so battered, so broken, and so bruised because they gave up their power of their place, their position, and their voice. Their independence. They gave it up. So now they let somebody pull them like a puppet string. Whatever string they pull, that's the way you go. You're an individual. And if nobody can bring anything to the table and y'all can't find common ground, because it's important to have conversation. There's nothing wrong with you going to the table in a friendship, in family, dating, in marriage and say, look, this is what I expect. I expect that we working this together. I expect we're going to build this household together. I'm not footing all the bills by myself. And you enjoy the luxury of not doing that. I expect after a certain time that we've been together, there's going to be some escalation somewhere down the line. I expect that. But if you don't come to the table laying your expectations on the table, what do you expect that you're going to get? Because there is no clarity, there is no understanding, there is none of that. And actually, when you just go along with what somebody say, what somebody do, how they treat you, they say you walk this way, they say you talk this way, they say you wear this, they say you wear that, they say you go where I tell you to go, do what I say do, that's taking your power. You're no longer an individual. You are walking in somebody else's shoes and they're controlling every ounce of your life. And let me tell you what I'm not going to do. Please understand me. I'm not going to take care of household. I'm not going to work 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jobs. I'm not going to come home and cook and clean. I'm not going to take care of your kids and you go out in the street and do what you want to do and then expect you finna come back home and crawl in the bed and lay beside me and then I'm going to pleasure you at the same time. I'm not doing that. Not at all. Not having it, not doing it, not going to do it ever. And I think some of us women need to take a look at that. And again, I say this all the time. Men will only do what you allow them to do. You don't have no boundaries. You don't have no cutoff. You don't have, look, this ain't happening this way. No, we're not doing it this way. And it's not a dictatorship. It's a partnership between two individuals. When we understand that these are two grown folks in a relationship, we'll be so much better. It's not a grown person and you raising a kid. We're supposed to be two adults and you're supposed to respect each other as such. When I start feeling that I'm the superior person and I feel like you're less than, I can't acknowledge you, I can't recognize you as who you are, as my friend, as my boyfriend, as my husband, I can't acknowledge you, then something is wrong with that picture. I'm not going to be a silent partner unless it's going to make me some money. So if we in a relationship, then we're in a relationship. Bottom line, if we're married, then we're married. You can't be married. I said this before. You can't be married and live a single life. That's not how that works. It doesn't. It doesn't work that way. And then when things don't work out and people tell you, oh, well, what happened? You get an attitude. Why you get an attitude? Because I wasted my time with him and he didn't. Well, you didn't require nothing from him. You gave up your power, your position, and your place. He influenced you to do things that you didn't want to do. He influenced you and you allow him to influence you to do things that you didn't want to do. You lost your voice of saying no. You lost your voice in saying, no, I'm not doing that. You lost your voice in saying, no, I don't agree with that. Just for the sake to say, I got a man. So how much value is that if you're giving up your power in those different areas? How much value is that? Please explain to me, because there's no value in that. Now you've given up sex, you created a household, and you have no benefits from it. You have no voice, you have no place, and you have no position. None whatsoever. So whose fault is that? Whose fault? And I say this all the time. I tell my family member this the same thing. When you keep end up being in the same scenario over and over again and it hasn't changed, you have to understand it ain't the other person. Then you need to start looking at the person in the mirror. So we say when we're with somebody and we've been with them for 2 and 3 years and they don't commit, they don't do this, and I said this in other streams, they don't do this, they don't do that, then they go off from us and instantly 2 weeks, 1 week, a month, they already married, then bought a house, then create a whole productive lifestyle. Goals, visions are being achieved. You didn't have no expectations when you went into the next relationship. And you didn't get the power of your voice back. You didn't get the power of your position, you as an independent person, back. You didn't get that back. You never healed that part of you. You never took time to analyze and reflect on why things happen the way they do. You never took that time. So I'm just saying, we as women, stop giving up so much of our power. It's your power. People need to earn some things, and we don't need to give it away so freely and so quickly. We just don't. They need to earn it. That's all I'm saying. So somebody had said the sex act should be a complement to the relationship, not the foundation of the relationship. Yeah, sex act should be a complement, and it shouldn't be the foundation. But I think with what we see on TV, what we read in some books and all this stuff, we think that's what it is. We really do. Sex is sex. It don't have no value, no meaning if that's all it is. And that's what the other person think it is. And it's not designed for that. It's really not. All you're doing is getting your needs met, and then you moving on to something else. That's it, and that's all. And if we want to be honest, some of the people that we think are faithful to us, are they really that faithful? I mean, really, let's be honest. Because if you don't require nothing, he over here with somebody else that requires something, guess what he's going to devote all his time to? He's going to devote his time to the person who's requiring some things, and he just going to pacify you. He's going to stop by when you allow him to stop. He's going to call you when you allow him to call you. He's going to sleep with you every time you part your legs, and he's going to sleep with you. That's what he's going to do. It's more to being a man than just sleeping with somebody. It is. It's more to be in a relationship than just laying up with somebody. There's a whole bunch of things that go along with that. But if you don't understand what it takes for a relationship for you, then you'll never get the relationship that you want to have at all. And you'll keep getting in the same scenario over and over again. And the sad part, for any woman out there who has kids and they're watching your actions, you are actually training them certain aspects that they don't, and bad habits they don't need to learn, things they don't need to see at all. They don't need to see at all. And then here's another part to it. We talk about what thus said the Lord all the time. We do. And as soon as we see somebody else out of pocket and don't do what they need to do, we can see their wrongness in their relationship and things they should do. But we never take the mirror and turn on and look at ourselves, because what we see in somebody else is exactly the same thing that we're dealing with, but we don't want to face the truth. So this is a self-analysis. Take your power back. It's your power. A lot of women have lost themselves in men. A lot of people have lost themselves in jobs. Somebody has snatched some power from you. Take it back. Take it back. I'm not saying being mean. I'm saying not being evil. And I'm not saying being cruel. But take your power back. Take your place. Take your position. And take your voice back. It's yours. Learn how to speak up for yourself when things are not right. You have that right to speak up for yourself. If I'm gonna lay up with somebody, baby, you gonna listen to what I got to say. If you don't listen, then guess what? You sleep on the couch and you find somewhere to go, and I'll go on and do what I got to do for me. But let me tell you, we need to have some expectations, women. We need to have some requirements. We really do. The things that we tolerate and we're dealing with right now, we don't have to do that. We're stronger than that. We're better than that. So much better. And again, people only do what you allow them to. So take your power back. Take it all the way back. Go back. Take it back. You know where you lost it at. And if you don't, then do some reflection. You'll figure out where it got snatched at. But you need to take it back. Two people in a relationship, whether it's friend, family, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, job. It's relationship. Stop letting people influence you to do things you don't want to do. You're a grown woman. You're a whole grown woman, hopefully. And your voice do matter. Your position matter and your place matter. If somebody say that you their girlfriend, they love you as such, then act like I'm your woman. Bottom line. Ain't nobody got to question, ain't nobody got to want, and they ain't got to guess. And if somebody wants to take it a step further, baby, you got a certain time frame. You got about a good 2 years. If you don't do something in 2 years, then we need to revisit this again. What's up with that? Because I'm not playing house with you. No, we're not doing that. Where are we going from here? But people only do what you allow them to. And let me tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not taking care of no man. Sorry. Now, there's stipulations to that. If he's a working man and something happens, yes, that's fine. But no. Mm-mm. He lazy, man. He looking for just somebody to just take care of him. There's some men out here don't want to work. They just want find some woman that's going to take care of him. No, I'm not putting you up. That's not how God designed it to be, ladies. Understand. God first, man, and everything else come below. So he needs to be that man that he was called to be. Understand me? Don't move your mouth and say you're a man. Show your actions in being such. All right? Make sure you follow us on all our social media outlets. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, TikTok. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out the website, toawomansheart.com. Go over to the store with the t-shirts, toawomansheart.store. Now look, if you watch this on replay, if you listen to it, there is a new tool on here. It is a giveaway tool, and I want to test it out. So if you are willing to be a part of a giveaway, then I'm going to use a hashtag, and you will have to put the hashtag inside the comment for the giveaway. Okay, this is going to be a test to see how the giveaway will go. Now you will receive something, but it's going to be a test. But I want to know how many are going to are willing to participate. But keep your eyes and your ears open, because you'll never know when the giveaway is going to take place. But most likely it's going to take place sometime soon. All right. It was a pleasure speaking with you all. And for those on replay, thank you for watching. Share this stream. Go to our Facebook group page. Join in. Encourage. Post some uplifting and motivational things. And if you're a woman in a business and don't put all your eggs in one basket, go to toawomansheart.org. Brand your business, network, and share life moments. Take care until we talk again.